Hello, hello. Today I am excited to talk about something that's come up a lot over the last week. So, I made an announcement that I'm going to be doing weekly office hours calls with my membership. And I want to tell you a little bit about that because I think it is a great indicator of a shift we are seeing in consumer behavior and what's actually working. Happy Monday. Excited to be here. Let's dive right in. So, I launched a membership. It's called Money Moves Membership, and it is $87 a month right now. It's still on a founding member price. And originally, I set it up. The goal of the membership is to help female founders implement the strategies that bring them in more money. So, I teach a strategy each month. We have some kind of challenge, and the challenge is all around actually implementing the strategies that change your business, right? Because we've seen time and time again, you go to a webinar, right? Like you go to a 3-day workshop, you learn all these new things, and then you forget about them, and the notes are in your notebook. And then you go to another one a month later, you learn all these things, the notes are in your notebook, and you never implement. So, my goal with this membership is to change that. And my bigger vision is to put more money in the hands of female founders. We need more female founders making more money, right? And I realized that implementation is a huge piece of this puzzle. So, that's the backstory of why I launched this membership. Originally, it was going to have one call a month. Then I upgraded it to two. There would be a challenge kickoff call on the first, and then an office hours. Here's what I realized: it's not enough. There are a million memberships right now, right? There are a million things in front of my ideal customers and in front of my members. There are so many ways for them to get distracted. There's so many things that are like pulling their attention. If we have weekly calls, they are so much more likely to be more engaged, to remember when the calls are, to show up. And I believe so much right now in over delivering. And that's what I want to talk a little bit about because I think times have changed so much from when it was 2020 or 2021 or 2022 and it was easier to sell things online. It's not that way anymore, right? And I will tell you, even my coach was a little bit like, "Oh, why are you why are you going to offer, weekly calls if people are only paying $87 a month?" But I think we have to flip that on its head. Okay, that's the old way of thinking. The old way of thinking is like, if I only have 10 people in my membership at $87 a month, that's $870 a month. And that's not enough to make sense for me to spend 4 hours of my month coaching these people. That's the old way of thinking. The new way of thinking is my goal with this membership is to hit 100 members. Okay. Then to hit 1,000 members. Obviously, there's some numbers in between there, but my real goal is to get 1,000 people in this membership. My biggest question is not how much am I making an hour? It is how much value can I provide for the members in my membership so that they're obsessed with it, so that they recommend it to their friends, and so that they're more likely to actually make more money in their business, which is the goal overall, right? I think the way we used to think about it is very self serving, right? It's about us, it's about the creator, it's about, hey, okay, if I'm going to do this many hours creating content, this many hours coaching, how much money am I making an hour? That is the old way when it wasn't so crowded. Okay. Now the market is just so crowded. There's nothing wrong with that. There's still ways to stand out, but you have to be different. And here's the thing: I plan to be an exceptional coach and mentor. So, what would an exceptional coach and mentor do? Would I think about my hourly rate? Or would I over deliver and get the result for my clients? Now, there was a part of me that was like, look, if I do this, are people less likely to sign up for higher ticket stuff? And that's a fair question, especially right now. I have about 20 members in the membership. It's growing, but there's 20. So they're getting a lot of my one-on-one attention. Are they less likely to sign up for higher ticket stuff because they're getting that attention from me for $87 a month? Maybe. But that's a risk I'm willing to take. My goal is scale. Okay. So I really want to grow this business to $1 million a year business. I have big goals for next year, and the goal is scale. So if I am focusing on scale, I need to keep my eyesight on what this membership will be at 100 and 1,000 members. I also need to believe that the value that I offer is so good that these people are going to buy whatever I'm selling because I'm offering them so much value and they've seen results from working with me. So I think the old way, right, was like, I'm going to charge high ticket, super high prices because when someone pays this amount, they're taking a risk and it causes them to go all in. I just think that's the 2022 way of thinking, right? And yes, of course, with psychology, there's some stuff there, but that makes sense. But I think now so many people are offering low ticket value. So much free value is on YouTube. So much free value is on Instagram. Not all of it's great, but people are giving and giving and giving. So you have to find a way to stand out, right? And I learned from a lot of different people. And this is actually a Maria Went way of thinking, which is give so much for an inexpensive price so people keep coming back to you. Now, look, I don't have a free membership. And a lot of people recommend that. And that's where you have to figure out what works for you. And that's the most important piece. I don't want to have a free membership. And that's because I've done it before. I think it was hard to convert people. I just didn't love it. So I do want to have a price, right? I want there to be a cost to be a part of the membership. I do believe that people have more skin in the game when they pay something that is a little bit more. And that's why we're at $87. So I just believe that over delivering is now the way of the future, right? And like, listen, boundaries are still super important. So let me talk about this. If someone is not in my membership, I had this happen the other day. Actually, I have this happen all the time. People who are not in my membership or not in any of my programs will DM me questions. And here's what I usually do. I usually will answer one question for them. And I will usually say, hey, look, I can answer one question if it's an easy kind of easier question to answer or one that makes sense for me to answer. I'll say, look, totally, I'm happy to help with this. If you have more questions or want deeper help on this, I would love to see you inside of my membership. It's jam-packed full of value, and I do this many calls and I answer questions like this all the time. If it's a question, like I did have someone say to me once, like, hey, can you look over my offer suite? And I had to say, look, like I can't because I can't provide enough value over DMs and Instagram without going deeper. So you can over deliver and still have boundaries, right? Like I am not willing to work for everyone for free all the time. It doesn't make sense for me to be in my DMs answering questions all the time when people could join my membership. Now, today I am coaching in the DMs. So I put up a question box. This is a lead gen strategy I use, and I also just love it. It's fun for me. I put up a question box and people put in their business questions. I am happy to answer them there, right? But I'm answering one per person because a lot of people submit questions and I want to make sure everyone has a chance to be heard. I tell my current clients not to ask questions in that box. I say, hey, look, you ask them in Slack or School, wherever our channel is. But beyond that, like I just believe like how do you get your paying clients or the people you are serving? So if you have a free thing and that's what you're doing, that's fine. If you have a paid community or a paid program, like how do you get them to the transformation? What do you need to get that do? What do you need to give them to get them from here to here, right? Whether it's losing 10 pounds or whether it's making more money in their business. And we have to give that to them now. I just think there's so many coaches and mentors out there that are high ticket and are offering things for $5,000 a month, and that's great. But like, how are you going to stand out? Right. And for me, the idea is I believe I have exceptional experience to help female founders make more money in their businesses. I know I do. I I have high standards for myself. I plan to always be an exceptional coach and mentor. I want to go above and beyond. I want to over deliver. I want people to be in awe of the guidance and help that I give them. That's what I believe. And so over delivering and adding 4 calls into my membership fully supports that bigger vision. And I think like, look, like I, I think there's lots of mentors and coaches who would say, this is a bad idea. You're giving, why would they buy the cow if they could get the milk for free? But I just don't believe that. I think that the value and connection with my clients that I provide is going to leave them wanting more. And it just goes to show that so much has changed, right? 2024, it's 2024 now, 2 years out from kind of like the end of the boom of the coaching and mentoring industry. And this is true for if you sell anything online, right? Like everyone was buying stuff online from 2020 to 2022. Now things are a little more crowded and you just have to do more to stand out. So what is it going to be? And I kind of like doing things that piss my coaches off because it means I'm doing something different, right? If people don't believe I should give 4 coaching call or a coaching call every week for a month-ish, then fine, let that ruffle some feathers. But I am more than willing to give to get the results for my ideal clients so that I can attract more people and so that I can bring more people in. And my real goal is helping as many female founders as I can. And if that means a coaching call a month, so be it. I believe in over delivering. I think we're in a place and we're in a phase of the industry where you have to do something different. How are you going to set yourself apart? And look, if it's that you're more unavailable and super high ticket, that's great. That can be your choice. That can be your thing. Or if it's that you're going to go all in and give so much value that people always want more from you, that's what I'm hoping to do. And that, as I said, is aligned with my bigger vision of helping as many female founders as I can and scaling this. Okay. I would love to know what you think. Leave me a comment. Let me know. If you have any questions, I will answer them in the comments. Have a good one.